All right, we're gonna start with this image. Um, and I can't even summon the energy that I want for this because I'm coming down with something. But this is so fucking disappointing.
Yeah.
And this is, I mean, we're to be disappointed in Trump is like a whole other level. I feel like I've been transported to a different universe. But what's clear, uh, we're the bad guys. We, the U.S., the United States government are the bad guys, and I don't know if people separate that from the American people because we voted for this fucker, but the two of them and their gestures toward him right now, I mean, this is I mean, it's already been said, but what's very clear is that we are on the side of somebody who's a bad actor in the country. We are the villains in this story now. And this moment coupled with the policies of Trump's cabinet, the removing pressure from Russia in multiple places in the government. Today, I think um, they they took down the group in the Pentagon that fought Russian troll farms. And this was cybersecurity, one of the wings of cybersecurity fight against Russia. I forget what it's called, but the point is it's very clear that we're on the wrong side here. Um, and this is something that you're writing about this week, Ahmed.
Yeah, I should be dropping an article on this today, but like, yeah, I was tweeting about it. The thing is, I wrote a whole article 2 weeks ago on the fact, even before this, that the Trump doctrine is about antagonizing our allies, turning
Hmm.
towards adversaries, and upholding the far right. But essentially, it's allying with authoritarians over democratic countries. And that's where Trump sees them as his peers. He's transactional. He doesn't see the value in upholding democratic values or America's interests broadly. It's about what transactions he can get. And he
Hmm.
sees Putin and them and these other authoritarians, Orban, even Xi, as peers. And here specifically, it's just a culmination. Like they've been from the month they got in. I can't believe they even asked this man for a thank you because they've done nothing for him. He can thank the country, Zelensky can, but
Hmm.
Trump and Vance have done nothing for this guy except extort him in the first term. Vance is opposing Ukraine aid while Trump's out of office, and then now over this last month, you have Hegseth giving away all those concessions to
Yeah.
Putin right off the bat. Marco Rubio excluding Ukraine from the talks with Russia and Saudi Arabia. Trump calling him a dictator before this, and then you
Hmm.
have Zelensky, who has been at war for 3 years, not coming in here and not kissing the ring or bending the knee. He's
Hmm.
a war-torn guy. He's not afraid of this nonsense. He's going to bow to a dictator here if he's not
Well,
doing it at home, right?
that's right. So I want to talk about Zelensky in a second because I have a lot of feelings
Yeah,
about
yeah. We
him
could talk about
and
him
how he
later.
showed up here. I want to say that I am like a part of me in like the post, the day or two after this happened. One of the things I'm so pissed about because it's very clear that Trump is locked in with Russia now, is how much some of us have been screaming about this
Yeah.
for so long. It's not just that Trump is transactional. It's that he's already chosen a side.
Well, exactly. Yeah.
He is on the side of Vladimir Putin. And he says when he gets at the most heated during this exchange, he says, Putin and I went through this
Hmm.
Russia thing.
Yeah.
Russia, Russia, Russia. He said, we went through this, like we together, like me and my dude,
Yeah.
me and my buddy went through this thing that the left put us through. And so he may be transactional in like the majority of his interactions, but he's Team Putin like in his
Oh, yeah.
heart. Like that is home for him. He's not, I don't think he's transactional with Putin. I think there is no possibility where there's a transaction where he decides that he's gonna leave Putin behind or that he's gonna disadvantage Russia in some
Well,
way.
yeah, definitely. And I didn't mean like he's transactional as in like that's the only thing that guides him. But I do think
But
also,
that's the way he
but
governs. I
I,
hear you.
but I do think generally, it is transactional. To Russia helped him win in 2016.
No, sure,
Very,
sure,
very
sure.
publicly and openly,
Right.
right? And Russia has had his back and this entire time, has not
Right.
criticized him, has had his back. That's a big transaction for him, which is why you see, and that goes a long way. Look at how he's rewarding all his cabinet members and Musk and all the people who had
Right.
his back and helped him win. So it is a transaction, but it's like also not just the you're right. It's not just that. It's that he has chosen this side of authoritarians. We are the Axis powers. If we were to go
Yeah.
back, like you're right. It's exactly what we've been saying. This guy praises dictators. He loves them. He sees them as his peers. Putin is among them. He has a special place in his heart for Putin,
Hmm.
and he is acting. You couldn't have written this better. Like a 2017 Trump Russia Mueller conspiracy theorist,
Right.
you know,
It was
not that we were conspiracy theorists at the time, but I'm just saying if someone was like going down the rabbit hole, like they couldn't have written this scene. They couldn't
right.
have better
Right.
than this.
They
This was
wouldn't have
so
believed it. This would
pro.
have been over the top. They would have
The
thought,
outcome
no,
is
no
so
way.
pro Russia. The outcome is so pro Russia. And then people talk about whether it was planned or not. All I know is that Vance was the instigator here. If
Hmm.
it was planned, if it wasn't, whatever. Vance blew this up. He instigated. He poked
Yeah.
Zelensky, and the outcome is an attempt to erode Zelensky's popularity and give the U.S. a pretense to back out of backing
Right.
Ukraine, so Russia can get their way.
Right, right, right. So they're looking for the win-win. They're looking to win with Russia, and they're also looking to win at home and have an excuse for backing out. Here's the interesting thing about this, and I want to move on to Zelensky because um, what's very clear coming out of this is Europe understands now in black and white.
Yes.
There were some people in Europe who were like, I don't know. Trump is, he's just the deal maker, and he may look up to Putin in some way, but he can be negotiated with. And this is clear. This is the negotiations over. He's one-sided. He's trying to look like he's fair and look like he's considering everything, but even the minerals deal is this ridiculous deal that with no security guarantees that of course Zelensky
Yeah.
wasn't going to take that. So now it's clear in Europe, and they're very unified now. As soon as this happened, they sent him a bunch of messages, Zelensky, and they said, we're with you, and we'll see how many dollars follow that, how much military support follows that. We'll see exactly how much they've got his back. But this dude is a fucking hero. Okay. The the way that the thing that lit this end piece on fire, and I think what this image captures is when JD Vance tried to I don't even know what the fuck he said, but he talked about diplomacy, and Zelensky was like, we have tried diplomacy. This, you really think it'll work? And he goes on to say, like, from this period to this period, I think he
Yeah.
said
Yeah.
20, what do you say, 2014 or
To-
2017 to 2022. We have tried to make deals with this guy. I would say that was one of the failures of the Obama administration. He didn't take the incursion into Crimea as seriously as this, and it was all diplomacy, 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 and the guy just, Putin just railroaded the world and did
yeah.
whatever he wanted. And so Zelensky's like, I'm not a fool. This is not going to work. And he decided to challenge what JD Vance said and not let him have this talking point. And
Exactly.
so I went back and watched this whole thing. At the very beginning, like the majority of this interaction is actually really positive, and they're
Yeah.
joking with each other. Zelensky is trying to be respectful. He does thank him numerous times
Yeah.
in this sit down. And he also made a trip out here. People forget, was it 2 weeks ago or something?
Yeah.
Where he's like full on thanking Trump, and he's like saying that this relationship is great and you guys are the best and all this. So he has been respectful. So it's bullshit if they're saying he hasn't.
Yeah.
What he does though here is he maintains the dignity of his people and his country. He doesn't let them lie. He doesn't
Yeah.
let them bend the truth. He challenges every single time they try to throw out mis and disinformation for the media to gobble up. And and he does it with this like tact. He does it with respect. And when they start to elevate their voices, he doesn't meet them. He's not
Yeah.
yelling with
Exactly.
them. It is such an artful, respectful, um uh uh moment to like keep morale high at home and to like hold the line. Like he
Yeah.
drew a line and he said, I'm not going to let you cross this. And that dude, I mean, man, I was watching that taking notes. That's a leader.
Yeah, that's a leader. He went in there and defended his country. He's one of the bravest leaders of our time. Straight up.
Yeah.
He held that line single-handedly, led his people to rebuff Russia. And then now here, that's where they misunderstood him. Tweet about this the other day, like the same thing you're basically saying is like they thought this man's going to come in and bend the knee and kiss the
Yeah.
ring to an authoritarian in the White House. He doesn't do it to an authoritarian in the Kremlin. You think he's going to come in here and
Mm,
bend the knee and take these lies and this BS from them? No, he's defending his people. He's defending the dignity of his country, and it's very the I think the Churchill comparisons are right because
mm,
they were trying to come to him and saying diplomacy, 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 and he was like, "How many times do we have to appease
yeah.
Hitler?"
Yeah.
He keeps taking more and more. We appease him, he takes more. We appease him, he
Hmm.
takes more. He didn't want to be Chamberlain. He wanted to be and I think Zelensky's learning the lessons from that. And Europe right now, their response has been incredible. I'm heartened
Yeah.
to see how they have all rallied behind him because right now what we're seeing in real time, it's like you said, it's earlier. It's we're switching teams. We're switching sides. The US is ending 75-year post World War II uh, order, and they're switching sides from democratically elected countries to these authoritarians and these regimes. And right now, Zelensky is standing on that other side, saying no.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and the thing is, I think it's irreparable. I think if you're a U.S. ally, how are you gonna be able to sign a deal
No,
with the
I mean, yeah,
U.S.
no, this is a new day. I mean,
Right?
and I think we're realizing that now because if they were to ask us, like I would say, don't trust us.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't be able to say what's going to happen in the next election. Like every four
Yeah.
years, basically, you have to prepare for a massive change in the way that the U.S. looks
Yeah.
at you, and I wouldn't make a deal with us at all. I wouldn't trust us. I wouldn't trust our military. I wouldn't trust our foreign aid. I wouldn't trust our treaties, anything.
Yeah.
They understand that now. The
They've
thing
yeah.
that I guess the last part of this is I start to think about like what it means to be an American right now, and I thought about the like traveling. You know, Americans like to travel
Yeah.
internationally all the time. This is going to feel different from here out, and I don't know if we get treated the way that we've been treated in the past, and I think that that's fair. I think that there's like broader analysis, and then I always feel like I'm talking to like to people who listen to this and watch this, and like there's a part of this that you own. Like you have to own. It may not have been your fault, but you get to own the consequences of this. We will be treated differently when we travel. We'll be treated differently when we work with people in other countries. In the same way that a lot of people place blame on Gazans for electing Hamas. This is not different in the eyes of the international community. We selected Trump. We voted for him. Um, and so we this is America. This on the screen right now is America. How do you feel about that, man? And you could take this down. Actually, I'm tired of looking at this.
Yeah, I was about to say I need to take it down. Um, you know, yeah, I think we're gonna be when we travel, when we go across abroad, say from America, it's not gonna be the same. I think there was also similar after, during the Bush years
Mm,
when, probably not won't be to this extent.
right.
But
This is worse.
people were still pissed about the Iraq war and stuff, but and, the lies. But I do, and Obama, of course, resurrected that. I will say, yeah, I mean, it just feels it's disheartening to be an American right now when so many of us he's doing every single thing we said he would do. He is an embodiment of all of his worst critics were right. And now he represents the country of at least for the next 4 years. And it's honestly, you're right. We own it, but I think the part of owning that is owning our role in being the
Yeah.
force for fixing it. So if
Mhm.
I'm out if I'm out and traveling this year, which I will be, I'm gonna be like, and they're like, "Oh, you're from America?" I'm like, "Oh yeah." And they're like, "Oh," I'm like, "Oh well, don't worry, I'm working to
I'm one of
fix
the,
this.
and
I'm
that's
one of the
right.
good ones, and
I'm one
I'm
of the
I'm
good
working
ones.
my ass off to fix this."
Yeah.
And I do think still, even after this, I got some spiritual, optimistic sides to me, and I think America. I don't. It's good. There's a lot of pain happening, but maybe 10 years from now, we'll have to look back and say they needed to see the ugly face of what
Yeah.
the underbelly that they have let fester, the remnants of the Confederacy, this disgusting depravity that is on the underbelly of America, that they just made the face of America in denial about how disgusting he was. We were all telling you this is what he is, and they're like, no,
Hmm.
he's not. He's not really that, and he
Right.
is,
He
and
is.
it's been proven indisputably. And I
Yeah.
think that's gonna be a change. It's a boost of credibility for the good guys. It's a
Hmm.
boost of those who oppose him. And I think when people make warnings in the future, it's going to hit different. And it's not
Yeah.
going to be one of those, oh, so my main thing is like, although it really sucks, when I look at the long arc, I think 2004, people could not have predicted Barack Obama. So
That's right.
in 2025, we maybe won't be able to predict who
Yeah.
2028 could be, and it could be
Yeah.
a whole rebrand, but we'll see.
That's good, man. And I'll end with this part because I think that I mean, we always talk about the moral arc of the universe in the toughest times, and the fact that we need to bend it. I think one of the things I understand about myself and this community that I help to lead is that I need to put pressure on us to help bend it. So I want to end with this. Um, there are people in our community who have the means to leave right now. Like they're thinking about this moment as a big moment, and they have the means to leave, to protect their family, to protect their assets and everything they built, and take it and go. Um, I want you all to know that I'm not leaving. My family is not leaving. The people who trust me and follow me and work out on the front lines with me, we're not going anywhere. This is our country, and we're going to fight for it. So if you plan on leaving, I hope you plan on supporting us from abroad. And if you don't plan on leaving, I hope you join me on the front lines because we need more people who are willing to risk their necks, who are willing to sacrifice something in order to fight. And we're learning every day, every week, just how tough this fight is. And I want you to know I don't care what he does. I don't care how much he damages this country. I'm a fighter and I'm going to be in the fight. And I want you to come with me. So think about what that means. But I'm out there and you should be too.